Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. Thank you for all the well wishes, the prayers, the advice, the tips, the hints on my leg. The infection is gone. I have probably a day and a half more to take my antibiotics, but everything is looking good. That is a scary thing. When you have a disease, you have an infection, you have a medical condition where it's very hard to beat it. Little tiny bugs, viruses can get us as preppers, so we have to be very careful. But I'm doing great. No complaints. Probably about 95%. Still taking a little bit easy on the leg. There's still a scab on it, so I don't want any problems. But I am good to go. I want to talk about sugar. Not the kind you give your honey, but sugar. Sugar is relatively very cheap. For me, it's very important. No, I'm not addicted to sugar. What I want to make sure for baking, I want to make sure for jams and jellies. You can buy it commercially, which I have some good old strawberry jam. Can't beat it. Where I live, there's a lot of fruit, so I can turn that into jams or jellies. And the reason is, I've put back a lot of wheat. I have a lot of yeast, so I'm going to make a lot of bread. The problem is, my worst thing is butter. I don't have a lot of butter put back. So by making bread, and eventually when I use my yeast up and I'm just making like a very basic cracker, a little bit of jam or jelly on that cracker is going to make it go a lot longer. It's going to taste better. So that's why I'm storing a lot of sugar, because I plan on making grape, muscadine, blackberry, raspberry, apple butter, pear butter, peach butter. I'm going to be using a lot of that, turning my fruit into something to put on my bread or crackers for wheat. I just opened this a second ago. I was going to open it live, but sometimes these are hard to get off, and it took me about 30 seconds. This is 30 pounds of sugar. I put it away May 2008. I'm getting this out, rotating it through. For some reason, I don't know, I usually don't do this, it's all in a plastic bag, which is not a bad thing, especially when you open this up. At least you'll have a trash bag, and by the time you open this in a survival situation, you might not have any trash bags left, so at least I'll have at least one trash bag. I don't know how many times I did this, but for some reason I did. So I'm not going to complain. I got a nice trash bag out of it. If I can get into it. Oh, I'm going to have to rip it maybe. If it was a survival situation, I probably wouldn't. No, I'm not going to rip it. I got it. Alright. We have sugar that's been put away since May of 2008. Soft as can be. That one's good. This one's a little bit harder, but still soft. If you have one that's hard, it's no big deal. When you empty this in your sugar container, a few seconds breaking it up, if you have any big chunks, will turn it just good as new. Do not store your sugar with oxygen absorbers. If you've already done it, don't worry. The only thing that's going to happen is your sugar is going to be hard. You'll have to break it up. It's still going to be totally usable. It's going to taste the same. So what I'm going to do here is, I've been buying sugar when it's on sale. I will take these out. Put them here and put these back away. I also use my sugar for tea. So I normally use a half a cup of sugar for about 3/4 of a gallon of tea. So for me also, sugar is going to be good because I've stocked up a lot of tea. I don't really drink a lot of soda, but I do have my tea. That's where I get my caffeine from. I don't drink coffee at all, so tea to me is my comfort food, and I'm going to plan on having it as long as I can in a crisis situation. So there's nothing fancy. Recycle the bucket. Make sure you use buckets that are food grade and had food in them. Probably the biggest thing now I do is, if I have to, I buy a new lid, but a lot of times I recycle the lid too. They have the rubber seal. So putting back food does not have to be expensive. Yeah, I have all kinds of Thrive, Mountain House, Wise, which Wise is not a good product. It tastes like trash. I used to sell it, and I feel so bad for selling it to people. Wise is on the bottom of my list. So if you're a Wise distributor, go ahead and eat some of your food and compare it to Mountain House, compare it to the other brands out there, and then honestly tell me if you think it's better. I don't think so, and I don't sell anything now. I have MREs. I have a lot of food, and some of that food is more expensive or premium. It's not what you normally get at your grocery store. But for my bulk of my food storage, it's things that I normally eat, things that are readily available, and things that are cheap. I guarantee you, if I had to replace this sugar today, it would be at least 50% more or more. I used to get sugar on sale. Usually you could get it for $1.49 or maybe even 99 cents when they had a special on a 5-pound. Nowadays, you can't even come close to that, and the cheaper ones now are 4 pounds. So inflation is hurting us. Cheap, easy, putting sugar back. Sugar is going to be worth its weight. I won't say in gold, but it's going to be very valuable. Everyone will want a little bit of sugar. If you're in a survival or crisis situation, it's gone a few months, you've probably consumed everything you have that's sweet in your house. So a little bit of sugar, making sugar cookies, making anything is going to be a big treat for yourself and for your group. Thanks for watching.